back to Terrible Tirades, a podcast that allows old friends to laugh, banter, get serious, or none of that. As always, my name's Sean, and I'm joined by my co-hosts Paul, Adam, Dale, and Christian. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, feeling good.
I gotta pee.
Horrible timing. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about a topic that everyone has experience with. According to a study conducted by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the average American will spend upwards of 32,098 hours of their lifetime dedicated to this activity. Christian, do you care to take a guess as to what this topic is revolving around?
I don't. Don't put me on the spot like that. I was thinking horrible things.
Well, you're the only one in this call that does not know what it's about. So
Say it.
No. What are we doing?
Say your horrible things. We want to hear them.
yeah, what horrible things have you
Share them
done
with the world.
for that amount of time, Christian?
Do you really spend that much time on Pornhub?
I heard that Pornhub just got nixed in Virginia. Like there's a permanent ban. Like, I mean, obviously a VPN will
They
be around
blocked
that.
themselves from Virginia to protest the law.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah,
What's the
that's
law?
the
I haven't been
situation.
paying attention.
That you must have a copy of your ID on your user profile to access any porn site legally. Now, obviously, Pornhub is the biggest one, so they are trying to comply with that or block any states that have such a measure, like Utah and Virginia. But all the other sites are just like, we don't care about this law. Go ahead.
You have to have your full address for everyone to see.
No, it's not public, but you have to upload it to them.
So it's public. If it's
Yeah,
getting
it's pretty
uploaded
much
anywhere online, it's public. Let's
Well,
just be honest.
it's subject to leaks, that's for sure.
That is going to clean up the quality of porn on these websites greatly. If what you watch is actually tied to your name.
Oh, well. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah.
Future, 20 years from now, employers are going to be like, so I see that you were watching urination porn on... I don't know if we can hire you as a nanny.
Anyway, Christian, your thoughts. 32,000 hours are dedicated roughly in a lifetime to this activity. What are we talking about? Not Pornhub.
Oh no, I was thinking jerking off.
I knew it.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my first thought. I was like, damn,
That's a lot, bro.
3,200 hours.
32,000.
32,000
A
hours.
year.
Something
No,
that
a
you
lifetime.
do like for
A
like
lifetime.
Oh, in a
multiple
lifetime.
times
I
a
thought
day.
it was
I mean,
a year.
I
I'm
guess
like,
it's
holy
possible,
shit.
but
Well, I mean, if you make that much money a year, like, a lot of people make $32,000 a year,
I mean, listen.
Yeah.
and time is money, and I don't know where I'm going with this.
I was like really interested to see how you're going to connect those.
I didn't. I was like, I think my thinking was completely flawed.
Is that really the subject?
Only
Good
fans.
guess, man. It was a really good guess. Really close, but no, it's
Oh,
food.
it is one of the same. It's one of the deadly sins.
yeah, I guess so. Food. We're talking about food.
If you eat enough of it.
So eating is the activity that was referred to by the United States Department of Agriculture, but food is more specific to the topic that we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah, it's 32,000 hours in America and about 2,000 hours in most parts of Africa.
Hmm.
The
when
Ghanese
when I talk about food, I have a palate of about probably like a 5 to 7 year old boy, and my favorite meal is pizza. And
Pizza.
will
It's my
always be
favorite
pizza.
meal.
Okay,
Yes.
not alone.
Pizza
I
is
mean,
spectacular.
it's top 3.
Okay, Chicago style specifically for me.
That's
Oh,
good.
Deep
Yeah.
dish.
I'm tired of all the fucking thin crust.
Yeah,
It hurts my mouth.
I'm a man and I want to be fat, and I demand all the carbs. That's what I
Yeah.
want. I've earned it. I want it.
What
Listen,
about the
I'm trying
stuffed
to
crust?
I'm not about stuffed crust.
You're not about stuffed crust.
What the fuck?
I'm really not. If you're eating
What?
a Chicago style pizza, you don't. It's not coming with
Oh yeah,
stuffed
no,
crust.
not with.
Well,
no.
no. But there's a. I
It's like
don't
a
just
meat
only.
pie.
But you don't like only one kind of pizza.
I'm with you, Sean. I feel like stuffed crusts have never been executed well enough for me to be like, this is great.
Yeah, when I first heard about stuffed crust, I can't imagine whenever it first came out or whenever it was becoming popular. I'd say somewhere in middle school, high school, maybe. I don't know. But I was
Gotta
like,
be
oh,
middle school for you.
hell yeah, that's awesome. And then, our family was like, that's too expensive. You're going to get, the Pizza Hut, the cheap deal stuff, and you're not going to get the stuffed crust. But regardless, when I finally did have it, I was like, it's a thing.
More cheese. More cheese is almost always better, unless we were talking about the other thing that Christian thought we were first talking about.
Is that cheese?
That's
Human cheese?
No,
Horrible.
just
I'm confused.
Horrible.
Anyway, so while I was doing the smallest amount of prep for this episode, because as you probably know from reading the chat, if you read the chat, Dale, Adam, then you'd see that, I just like, hey, this is the topic we're going to do. And then I totally did not do that topic. And now we're doing this topic, right? So while I was preparing for this in the last hour before we started recording, I asked myself, what would I request as my final meal if I were on death row? And I mean, obviously, my answer didn't really change from the Chicago style pizza. I want to go out eating something I really like, and that's number one on my list. But as I was pondering that answer of mine, I was curious to the origins of an inmate's last meal. Okay, and where it came from. Any ideas where that came from?
the Tombstone commercials where he says, "I want pepperoni and cheese."
What?
They say,
Sounds like
"What do
a
you?"
Wild West thing.
They say,
to me.
"What
I
do
don't
you
know.
want on your tombstone?" Pepperoni and cheese, because that's the brand of the pizza, Tombstone.
I'm glad you explained that because I was
Yeah, I was not tracking it first.
It was a great commercial and a good pizza, decent pizza,
Tombstone's not bad for the bang for your buck. It's like, is it
like the French bread kind of shit.
Oh, I've never had that. I think of
think.
Tombstone, I think like Tostitos pizza. Is that nowhere near for anybody else? But they're like really
I think they do like the deep
Super
dish, or maybe
thin
I'm thinking of
crust,
Red Baron.
regular circle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
They,
that's
I mean,
what
they
think
do
of.
they do multiple kinds.
but nobody other. So you're thinking old Western, and you're thinking of Tombstone commercials.
Which is
Anybody-
also old Western commercial.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
True.
so it's,
Yeah.
Got to be a conspiracy. They used to just take people out back and shoot them, or like lift them up with a rope and lynch them. And now they give them a last meal. Nah, that's big food. Paying the prison system to just keep smuggling more food in there. Like, no, feed them one more time. What does it do? Nothing at all. They're gonna die. Or
Texas
they're not
didn't
even
do
gonna
it.
digest it. But it's more food we sell to you.
Any guesses, Christian, where this last meal, like the origins of it, came from?
I have absolutely no idea, but I've always liked the concept. It's a little bit of last showing of humanity before taking of life.
Real
Yeah,
talk,
sure.
I am appreciative that it's
yeah, I guess. I don't know if I'd be able to eat though. I'd probably be like,
That's what I've had
ready
this
to
thought.
throw
I've
up.
had this conversation many times. Like, what would I have as my last meal? And it's always changed. Like, I always try and like aim for like what is my favorite meal? Do I pick my favorite meal, or do I pick something that I haven't had in a super long time, or do I want to try and like maximize the tastes, the palate that I can experience one last time? And I
I'd
think
ask
I'd probably
for
keep it simple.
So,
I'd ask for like a shish kebab so I could stab him with the skewer.
so
I
I,
would
I
get escape.
flambéed pike and some
you think of
you know,
law-abiding citizen?
agua.
Yeah, food is a
Um,
weapon.
Yeah, law-abiding citizen did a really good scene on that. But I actually to kind of narrow down your thoughts, right? If you're thinking right now, what would my last meal be? While I was researching this, there's a lot of states that don't even allow last meals anymore for death row inmates. Texas being the biggest one, or the like most namely, because they also execute some of the most amount of people, I guess.
That makes sense. Texas is like, you didn't give your victim a last meal. We
Well,
ain't gonna
so
give one to you.
Texas they stopped it because of a specific person in 2011. The condemned inmate, identified as Lawrence Russell Brewer, reportedly requested a large meal that included 2 chicken fried steaks, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger, a fried okra, a pound of barbecue, 3 fajitas, a meat lover's pizza, a pint of ice cream, and a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts, and then ate none of it.
Oh,
Okay.
After that, Texas specifically called out that inmate and said no more. And then other states put a cap on the amount of money that they're going to spend on your meal. Like for instance, Florida, their cap is $40. That's it.
I can't believe there wasn't always a cap to begin with. You're saying this entire time people have just
Yeah.
been ordering anything they could possibly imagine of any quantity and quality, and they just provide it?
I mean, some of it says, right? So a lot of states have
Yeah.
this in there. It says reasonable effort shall be made to accommodate the request in the
Yeah.
law. So, I mean, I think it's kind of up to the interpretation of the individual.
Yeah, I can't order I'll be like, I want 1 million baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Swordfish sushi garnished with gold flakes,
You
please.
extend your life for another 10 years because it takes them forever to make your.
Now, if I was that guy, I would just try to eat all that stuff. Maybe just die. Save them the trouble of killing me. I'll just die from
Sounds
eating.
horrible.
That sounds
Yeah, it
like a
might be
worse
worse.
way to die.
Well,
I don't know.
that one comedian. That's when he was talking about. He's like, we're the only country who dies from eating, and you're all dying from starving or something.
Oof. You might want to look up who that comedian is because now I'm interested. But I think of the Monty Python skit of where the mint is it's just one mint, and then he's like okay, and he puts it in his mouth and it explodes. You've seen that Monty Python skit?
Oh, the guy at the restaurant.
Yeah.
From the Meaning of Life.
I'm gonna throw up, and you're just walking out
Yeah.
No deal. I have
There's-
trodden in Monsieur's bucket.
There's also a commercial for an old Kirby game on Game Boy or something. It's very similar to that, where this big guy's just eating, and he just licks this last bit of yogurt off his finger, and it was too much, and he blows up.
That sounds familiar. Okay, so a little bit back on topic. I mean, not that we really got off topic, but so yeah, I was thinking about it. Where are the origins of the last meal? Where does that come from? Is it that the food is just such an important symbol of mankind that we feel obligated to provide it to someone, even if they are about to face their own death? Or is it something simpler than that? Is it a trick of the mind that we created to make a prisoner more at ease and cooperative with the execution process? I wasn't sure, right? These are the thoughts that I was pondering. And then I found an article from Fox News. I think it was from 2013, and it cites a paper written and endorsed by the Mercer University School of Law that claims that the tradition of last meals have been theorized to be connected with a symbolic gesture for the Last Supper of Christ. And, quote, the Puritans of Massachusetts once held grand feasts for the condemned, believing it emulated the Last Supper of Christ, representing a communal atonement for the community and the prisoner. But if you don't think that, Christians were created this, you can actually even refer later down into that paper. It even says that it alludes to the times of ancient Greece, where it was required to feed the person who was going to be executed. That was so they could cross the river Styx and not return to haunt you as an angry ghost.
What?
Interesting.
Thoughts?
Same reason they'd put a coin in your mouth, to pay the ferryman.
So wait, it's not from the Last Supper, because that was something I almost guessed. But
I mean, it's up to.
or you're
interpretation.
saying nobody knows for sure what the last meal.
Yeah, nobody.
is from.
When you start looking at history, and it really depends on who's writing the history, right? So there are some Christians and Puritans that think that, yep, Christ, that's why we do it, and there's some other people who are like, nah, dog, you got that from Greece. So
Yeah, I mean, that was going to be a guess, but it's a dumb reason, because I'm we're killing a man who's probably deserves it versus someone who was supposedly perfect. So,
Well, I mean,
one of them may have deserved a meal more than the other.
it's not even a question of who deserves a meal. It's a question of admitting that someone is a human being before you kill them. I think
Yeah.
that keeps you, as the person who's killing them, from becoming as cold as you could otherwise.
Yeah. I
When
mean,
you
I'm probably
stop
not
thinking
gonna.
of people as people, even if they've done atrocious things, then you start becoming atrocious yourself.
I agree.
Who are we talking about specifically? We the people, the taxpayers?
What are you talking about, we the people? I'm talking about, like,
Are you talking about the
executioner.
executioner?
the executioner in the prison system giving him up into the hands of the executioner, and the lawmakers who protect the right of the condemned to have their last meal. All the people who actually have a hand in making the decision that this human being gets to live one last time as a human being and have one last meal before we take them out of this world.
So
I
do
mean,
you
I think
think-
there's something about that humanizes the people that
Do
are
you-
about to do the executing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Do you think that, well, one, I have an assumption that majority of the people in states such as Texas that do not allow the final meal, right, the last meal, for inmates on death row, I have a feeling that the normal population of the citizens in Texas probably have no idea that that's the case, right? They probably
No.
oh yeah, we kill people, help, bang bang, but they probably have no idea that those people that the prison system is executing don't get a final meal. Do you think that would go over well if like that was highly publicized? Do you think that there would be like a public outcry? Because it sounds like you're thinking that there's like a moral dilemma to not allowing them a final meal.
I think so, but then again, I don't know what the average Texan would think.
I think the average Texan would think that it's dumb that they don't get a final meal. I think they would be somewhat offended by it. If I mean, not to judge the average Texan, but like I don't know. When I think of Texans, I think of people who are more traditional and old timey, and I think those are the kind of people who would like that sort of thing.
I think the only reason that they might not, the reason that I maybe wouldn't so much, is because just hardly anybody really gets executed anymore. If you look at the numbers, I don't know the exact numbers, but my guess would be like less than 100 a year in the whole country, something like that.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet the average Texan is already annoyed that how much they spend sheltering people for years until the execution date as it is. They probably don't even really care about a last meal, especially considering people are like, these people are monsters. Like, what do you got to do to get death row? Like, you probably got to murder a child in cold blood.
Jeez.
I'd actually wager that the majority of people don't really care about giving them a last meal, honestly.
But I mean, the argument from cost is kind of silly considering it's a single meal per a small population of people getting
It's not
executed.
about the cost, it's about the
Yeah.
the thing, the big picture of it, I guess. Like,
I thought this episode was going to be a lot more fun and happy, but it's
We're
kind
getting
of
there.
dark.
I got fun things in line. We're just gotta get past this hump. Finish
Talk
your
about
question.
the happy
Andy
meals.
Dufresne, you got to crawl through that shit pipe to get to the other side. All right, there's all kinds of treasure on the other side.
Yeah.
But
I'll move
right
on.
now we're in
The
prison.
whole death penalty topic is a hot one. I mean, I could talk about that forever.
That's a
I
whole
mean,
nother
I
tirade.
didn't mean to get too much into that. I was just, it's how my mind was working earlier. But okay, so we're talking about last meals and all that, and I wanted to ask if your head was on the chopping block and you were provided one last meal, what would it be? And we'll finally get off the last meal topic after that.
Give me a iced shaken espresso, Subway mocha, no classic from Starbucks, and a glazed jelly donut, and I'll be good. Good to go. Send me on my
Any
way.
glazed jelly donut? It doesn't matter from where.
I mean, I guess no lower than the standard of a Krispy Kreme. Not some shitty donut, but I feel like I'm with. I think Paul said it. Like your nerves, depending on how long you've had to sit around and accept that you're gonna die, your nerves are probably kind of wild, and you might not have an appetite for a full-on meal. Or you're a sociopath, and that's why you're there to begin with, and it's an easy thing to do. But I would probably want a little. Just give me something delicious and sweet. A little coffee, good to go.
All right.
I was just gonna say I ate a jelly donut today from Dunkin'. It was powdered on the outside, not glazed though. But it was weird because like I wasn't even thinking about it at first, but I was eating it and I was like, wait a minute, there's like cream in here too. And it was like half cream and half jelly. And I'm like, this is a mistake. But it was oddly still good.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
That sounds like a new idea. Market it that way.
Jelly creams.
Sure.
Yeah. Can dig that.
Sounds so good. It sounds almost intentional.
It does, doesn't it? It sounds
should
like a new
ask 'em.
ploy.
If they'll make that for you.
Or they wouldn't mind.
Yeah, is this a new thing? Because if not, can it be?
Yeah.
You heard it here first, folks.
We have the technology, you know.
Oh yeah.
All right, Paul, what you got? What's your head's on the chopping block?
See, I was originally just saying that I would just, just to be one last bit of stupid humor, I would just quote the commercial and say pepperoni and cheese. Although they would have to ask me what I want on my tombstone, so they probably won't ask me that. But
We'd give him like a piece of paper.
But I would
that
definitely
you
want
wrote.
some pizza. Yeah, I would definitely want some pizza. Probably some sushi, like a California roll,
That's
a
a weird
hamburger,
combo.
and like a hamburger, and then maybe a steak as well, and probably like either like some kind of a really good beer or a milkshake.
So you're eating good on your last day, or
Yeah, I didn't go. I didn't go as overboard as the one guy, but like,
yeah, but you're still Texas
Yeah.
circa pre 2011, so that's a pretty good meal. All right, Dale.
I'm torn. On the one hand, if I'm going with just my favorite foods, I would want hell with the 8 ounce. I'm about to die. Give me a 10-ounce sirloin. Maybe even a 12-ounce sirloin,
Oh,
medium rare. Some nice grass-fed beef. Give me a big old baked potato with all the fixins, the sour cream and the bacon and the cheese and everything. But now I'm thinking, like, do I really want to eat something that's bleeding before I go to die? That might not go down well.
I mean,
I don't know.
You're probably not going to be bleeding when you die. They're probably just going to.
No, but it'll be on my mind,
Yeah, that's true. Just don't
It'll
eat
be in
anything
my
that's had a
head.
lethal injection.
So maybe I'll eat fasting food. Maybe I'll eat
Oh,
I don't know, lentil
Yeah.
soup.
You're going to regret that if
Wrong
there
choice.
is an afterlife. You're going to be like, man, that was a crappy last meal, and now
If
don't
there's
know
no
what-
afterlife, who would I be to regret it?
I didn't
Well,
realize there were a possibility of wrong choices for this question, but that was the wrong choice. Dale, sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're saying like lima beans or something, that's the wrong choice too.
Or what's wrong with I don't know, latkes and stuffed grape leaves, a little bit of red wine, fresh
That
baked
sounds
bread,
okay. Yeah,
Light salad.
I guess. I
a
don't
light
know.
salad. Yeah, I mean,
I like
know.
salad, like a steak salad with French fries, though. Like not a light salad.
Side
maybe
of olive
stick
oil
with the whole
pork.
Greek routine. Go non-fasting Greek. Get lamb.
Gyro.
Was beer an option? Not for this convo, but for death row inmates?
I have no idea. I
I
think
would
it
be
was,
should if it wasn't.
I would assume
It
it
would mess
would
with the
really
alcohol
depend.
Chemical.
Yeah, probably depends. Because
340's a hurricane. Down them real quick. They have to drag me in there.
Yeah, I feel like that's actually more humane. Like, give him your drug. Give him like a drug of choice. Like, I don't know.
The milk of the poppy.
Yeah, like why can't you give him like a lethal dose of heroin? Just let him chill and go to a nice sleep. Or can I request a blunt? Oh my god!
We're really changing the scope of this
None
conversation.
of that sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
I'm just beer. Let me get drunk. That'd be awesome.
I'll accept beer into this conversation because it's a beverage. It's liquid bread. So, all right, we're moving on to Adam. What do you got?
Okay. So I'm gonna need a double cheeseburger, medium rare, about 3 or 4 slices of cheese, about 8 slices of bacon, some diced raw onions on there, ketchup, mustard, and mayonnaise, 2 T&L hot dogs with chili and onions, ketchup and mustard, T&L fries. I love fresh cut fries. Some nice greasy onion rings, and a side of ranch to dip those in. One of the Methodist Church peanut butter eggs from Easter.
That's very specific.
Some sort of large Reese's thing as well.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't have to be the bunny, but the same consistency as the bunnies, and a cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A to drink.
All right. I'm dying of laughter right now.
That sounds good. I want to change my
That is
answer
a
to that.
spectacular
So
meal.
I'm
But
dying
still
of laughter
pizza.
because I'm watching all your guys' heads, right? And like I've never seen everybody's heads at the same time just doing this. And every time I stop laughing, I'd look up and just see everybody's heads nodding up and down. Anyway, Adam, you won. Good job. You did it.
I'm
you won
hungry.
I was all in it. I mean, he said cheeseburger. I was like, yes, I like where this man's head is at.
This is
You
a
had my
perfect
heart the moment.
cheeseburger.
You had
Also,
my heart the moment you said 8 slices of bacon. I'm just like, yes.
all I could think of was my comparison earlier to the Trailer Park Boys character, and immediately you bring up cheeseburgers, and I was like, there we go.
I was thinking the same thing. Sitting here with no shirt on. I think the first thing I'd want is a double cheeseburger.
Give me a McChicken.
Oh,
Honorable
man.
mention. Honorable mention, though. Spaghetti and meatballs. Fucking classic.
It really depends on the type. Like for me personally, when I talk spaghetti or meatballs and spaghetti, it's more meatball, and it's a thicker sauce. I don't like runny sauce.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how you gotta have it. No big tomato chunks though. I ain't about the big chunky tomato.
It depends. If it's fresh, it's fine. I don't mind it.
I'm more interested in them meatballs. Are these like store-bought Italian garbage, or is this grandmama's meatballs?
Oh, grandma.
Is this like made
Mamma
with
mia.
love in somebody's kitchen?
It's gonna make you say Mamma
That's
Mia.
what I'm looking for.
Got that cardboard tube of breadcrumbs, and that's what's going in it,
I want to eat that meatball. They gotta put on the playlist from the Godfather soundtrack. Give me some cabaret or however you say it.
I mean, you could taste the dust from her blood thinner medication, as she's mushing the meatballs together because she didn't wash her hands very well. She's very old.
I mean, I don't know if I need
quality.
a little too much.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, I have some other piddly questions, but I think we're going to get to the more lighthearted portion that I have prepared, since we were talking about Death Row for the good chunk of this so far.
Do we hear yours?
Yeah, what's yours, bro?
I already told you at the very beginning. This is Chicago style pizza. That's all.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
I said that.
Didn't associate that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither, I guess.
I didn't realize you were thinking about Death Row when you told us how much you like Chicago style pizza.
No. I have it in my notes specifically where I said if I were asked that question, what I would request on the Death Row, then my answer does not change from Chicago style pizza. And then I went into all the other questions I was thinking. You guys just weren't listening, all right?
Very
All
roundabout way to word it.
We were too
Okay.
busy coming up with our own last meals.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get into a little bit more fun part of this. So what I did on this hour before we started recording and my piddly amount of research, I scoured the web, okay? And what I did was I compiled a list of 10 recipes from around the world. Your job today, for the remainder of this podcast, that is, or this episode rather, is to determine the origin of said recipe. And I have a feeling, because Dale is a linguist, this is going to be very easy for him.
I am not.
I
I am really not.
I'd like a group decision. I don't want everybody's answer individually. I want a group decision on each one, okay? Are the rules clear?
So we're all going to confer as a group and make one decision, and then you're going to tell us whether we're stupid or not.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Damn
As long
right.
as we're stupid together.
That's true.
And it's not like GeoGuessr. You can't Google the answer. Okay?
Wow, damn.
I don't know if you can legally guess. You're not supposed to do that in GeoGuessr either. You're not supposed to Google.
You 100% are. Everybody does it. Anyway,
Yeah, you lie. Google
The
is
cheaters.
forbidden in GeoGuessr unless you're like a big smelly wiener.
I think
The-
that's
I want to
true.
play the
Yeah,
game.
the famous guy does it in like 2 seconds. He
It's
knows it faster than you could Google it.
and for casuals, like when I play on matchmaking and stuff, you're not given enough time to Google. It's like a 30-second timer, and by the time you've Googled, you don't
I'll
even have
never live
enough
this.
of your initial surroundings to even.
Yeah, if you hit enter on your Google, you've already lost, bro.
I'll never recover from that. All right. First one. Stinky tofu. That is the name of the recipe. Where is it specifically? I'd like a... Well, yeah.
Well, that's all we get is the name.
Stinky tofu.
Yes.
Stinky tofu.
All right, this is
I've
English.
had
off
regular
the top of my head,
tofu.
English.
Hmm.
English.
It sounds like some disgusting English dish.
Tofu?
Sounds like California to me, but maybe that's too obvious.
So then Asian would be even more too obvious.
Yeah, I'm thinking Japan. If I had to guess which country in Asia, because it's clearly an Asian dish. The British conquered most of the planet Earth and never once learned what all the spices they were importing were for.
Yeah.
You think they're going to start picking up tofu? Come on, bro.
Japan sounds a solid answer. I
every
don't want Sean to psych us out too much and like
Every
we're just
country
like,
knows how to make tofu now, though.
If there is a foreign
Now, yeah.
and translated name for these dishes, what are you? Are you only giving us the English name?
Oh, yeah. I'm not trying to... yes, that is the English name.
Did you spell it?
Okay, so this may have been
Damn you! You tricked me into
translated from-
telling you something.
okay.
can I phone a friend?
Yeah, I'm thinking Asia then.
Yeah, bro. Its real name in Japan is Tofu Katamari Damacy.
Oh yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah.
You just
All right,
roll
you-
shit up.
Yeah,
You
dude.
just say, are you saying Japan specifically, or are we?
I'm thinking Japan.
Japan.
Good as any
Japan.
other one.
Sounds like the group has decided on Japan. You are wrong. It is
Yay.
China.
Dang, I
China.
actually first
You get
thought
half a point.
China. I really did, but I didn't say it because I thought I was gonna be dumb. Because Dale was like, "This is Japan," so I'm like, "I gotta go."
I assumed it was Japan because I thought China was too busy eating like bats and people's pet dogs and the
Very
guts out of snakes and things.
racist against China.
Dale's got a little tofu going on himself there.
Okay, I see that. Dale's foot is on the camera. Anyway, stinky tofu is fermented tofu with a strong odor, and it's said that the stronger it smells, the better it tastes. Tofu is brined in a mixture of fermented milk, vegetables, meat, and aromatics before fermenting for up to several months. Kind of like cheese. Its preparation depends on the region, but it can be served cold, steamed, stewed, or deep fried with chili and soy sauces on the inside, on the side.
So what do you think? Would stinky tofu be better cold or hot?
Old.
Gross.
I
In
don't
the
know.
trash.
So
no.
is
If
regular
they
tofu
they're like, we're going to bring you a
fermented
plate of this.
or just stinky?
I
I'm gonna
don't
throw
know.
it back in their face. I hate that shit. But
Miso
Tofu is
soup has
good.
tofu, right? Yeah.
But
All
what
right.
is it? What even
It's
is? I
not
know
that
it's
great.
soy. I know it's soybeans.
All right, we're
Mm.
moving to the next one. The next dish is called Rogan Josh. You'll
Joe
never
Rogan's
get it.
brother, huh?
You'll
Uh,
never get it.
America.
Rogan Josh.
You know what? I'll give you a lifeline here. It's not anywhere in America.
Turkey.
California.
That is true.
I
If
see what you
that's
did there.
America. Yeah. No, Rogan Josh.
You'll never get it. I picked this one specifically to throw a wrench in
All right, it's not turkey, guys. He confirmed it.
it sounds vaguely German to me, maybe, but
If
I
you're
have
throwing
no
a wrench at us,
idea.
maybe it's somewhere we'd never guess, like South Africa.
Nepal.
Nepal.
Why not?
There's final
with
answer
it.
Nepal.
Let's go with Nepal. Why not?
Okay.
All right, I will tell you. You are incredibly close.
Oh,
This aromatic curried meat dish from Kashmir in the far north of India traditionally features braised lamb, mutton, or goat, along with warm spices and bold Kashmiri chilies. To develop its rich signature color, Rogan Josh should be stewed low and slow to ensure tender meat and an intense depth of flavor.
We are
Good
not
guess.
mature enough for
Great.
this.
I'm gonna give you that one just because of how close you were, and I didn't really think you'd even get in the same yeah. So we'll give you that one.
I think China and Japan are not too far. either.
No, completely different cultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, Japan never took anything from China. Don't you know that?
I feel like Nepal and India are not same culture
Not the same, but they're so close historically that they're like.
from our perspective.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to the next one. This third one, I'm probably going to mispronounce a little bit, even though it's a very simple word. Uka.
Uka.
Uka?
Sounds Japanese.
Hawaii.
Oh
Damn,
no,
sounds Hawaiian.
Uka. That could be Hawaiian.
yeah, Hawaii sounds good. I think either Hawaiian or some African language, probably.
Again, I was
Yeah.
thinking Africa
Yeah,
too, but
that's
like
true.
Uka.
There's so many countries in Africa. Can we just guess continent of Africa?
Zimbabwe.
It's deep. It's
Zimbabwe good.
Earthenese. I don't know. Uka is a
Uka. That's I just played it on
Uka.
Google. Uka.
Ka.
Uka. That still makes me think Islander. It
Yeah.
makes me think Hawaii or maybe one of the other islands, the Philippines or something.
Uka.
But, like,
American Samoa.
Uka.
it's Samoan.
All right, my
Samoan.
guess
What are we
is
going with?
Japanese, but I'm gonna go with Hawaii with you guys. So
I'm with Hawaii. That's my
Hawaii.
guess.
All right, we're going Islander and Russia is
No.
the name of the game.
Hmm.
Uka, or more commonly known as fish soup, is the ultimate Russian
Mm.
comfort food. A bowl of uka consists of fish fillets, potatoes, and carrots in a savory broth.
yeah, this is your chance to shine.
It was his chance.
Listen, I don't know much about Russian fish soup. That has never come up in church.
You're my
Actually,
Russian lifeline in real life. Like if this was how to be or He Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I got a Russian question, I'm calling you. Still,
That's
even
fair.
after today.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
All right, moving on to the
Vote
next
of
one.
confidence means a lot.
Barmbrack. One word. Barmbrack.
Oh, that sounds Scottish or Irish. They both speak Gaelic.
I like it.
Barnbrack.
It's Scottish.
I was thinking German, but Scottish sounds better.
Does sound German too.
Something you have with your haggis.
Is German 2 like the new, like, awesome German language?
German 2.0.
Like the DLC? Sorry. That's
Mhm.
dad jokes. Oh, yeah, what are we going with? Those silence there.
Yeah.
Sounds like we got German 2, Scottish, and Irish.
Scottish.
I like Scottish. That's
Sounds
my guess.
most reasonable Scottish.
Say it one more time.
Barnbrack.
Barnbrack.
Yeah, the wild
Barnbrack.
card.
Definitely Scottish.
Throwing Thailand out there.
Thailand out there. Okay, well, it has to be majority rule, so you do. That means
Okay.
nothing to me.
Scottish, Thailand.
Yeah.
So Scottish is your answer.
Mhm.
And the actual answer is Barnbrack is an Irish Halloween tradition, more commonly referred to as
Irish.
brack. It's baked with a little extra surprise in the form of trinkets and coins mixed into the dough. Be lucky enough to grab a slice with a coin, and you're destined to find wealth in the year ahead. Find a ring, and you can start planning to walk down the aisle. Made with juicy raisins or dried fruits, this sweet loaf is made even more delicious when it's soaked in tea and whiskey. Enjoy a thick slice of this fortune-telling fruitcake with an afternoon tea.
I'll stick with the Lucky Charms things.
This is like the Price is Right, and you're explaining the awards. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to give you guys like half credit on that one.
It's the
Because
third time we've gotten like countries that border.
Well,
Yeah,
so
The Scots and the Irish have invaded each other a lot over the history of these two countries. They are different, and there are
China,
different
yeah,
cultures,
Japan.
but yeah, but China's never gotten the chance to invade Japan. Japan just sort of snuck over there and stole a bunch of stuff. Like, we
Japan
want these
invaded
letters.
China.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, not pretty
Exactly that.
much. I was gonna say that's what they did.
And also Russia. And, they tried the Philippines too, I think, didn't they? Or did they succeed?
The game is the game, right?
Okay.
Everyone was doing it.
So, for your knowledge, if I didn't already tell you, I have 10 of these prepared. So we're on number 5, and the fifth. Sorry, the fifth one is oxtail.
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 Trying to think. Where's the place where they wear those like hats that kind of like point up in the middle, but also on this side, like it's kind of like a W
wizard
shape.
Like a wizard going on there.
Middle Earth.
The answer, Middle Earth.
Obviously.
It's a delicacy in the Shire.
It sounds Wild West too. I don't know why.
Oxtail, like.
This
feel
one
like
makes
this
me
one is
think
so familiar.
Japan.
I was thinking Thailand, maybe. I don't know.
Thailand.
No, I was thinking straight England, but
I like that.
Oh,
That was my first instinct too.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are oxen all over the place, and people eating their tails does not sound unreasonable about anywhere.
Yeah, they probably have that dish. It's just different, and it's named different in their language. I feel like if you're gonna have a dish that's known as oxtail, it's so simple in that language.
Well, and is it actually an ox's tail, or is it something that looks like an ox tail? Is it named that because of its appearance?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it would be an actual oxtail. Not a lot of substance there.
I mean, people eat pig's feet.
Maybe, yeah.
It's true.
There's not a lot of substance on a pig's foot.
So what are we going with?
That's a good question. It's just it sounds so generic that I'm like, it could be anywhere. So whatever you guys think, I am down to go with.
Somebody said like Old England. That sounds.
Yeah,
Not New England. Old.
We'll go with the Old England.
Yeah, Old
We
England.
never do call it Old England, do we?
Old England's like
Yeah.
half
Alright.
the world.
Ye Old England.
Ye oldie England.
All right. Ready for the answer?
Yeah.
Oxtail. A Jamaican dish usually reserved for special occasions such as Christmas or family gatherings. It's typically stewed with mixed herbs and spices and paired with beans.
Well, Jamaica
Huh.
was a British colony. I mean,
Moving on. No,
We said Old English.
tell me the exact years that they were an English colony, and maybe I'll give you this.
from the
900s.
No, it was like the 1690s to the 18 teens, I want to say. Because we had that proxy war with France in the Caribbean and drove them out of Saint Domingue.
All right, fine. You've earned it. You've earned it. I'm not even going to fact check you. I'm accepting it as fact.
I mean, think about it.
If
They're pretty
that's
much the
not
same
your
place.
history, if that's not your history, Jamaica, sorry, that's what it is now.
If somebody
Sorry,
kidnapped you,
Jamaica.
put a bag over your head, took you to Jamaica, and told you it was England, would you know the difference?
Hey,
Well,
number
I don't know.
once
six.
I caught malaria and the heat got to me, I might have. Is
Yeah,
there
what
a
the-
sun in the sky?
Racist.
Well, then it's not England.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's not raining here. Oh, what kind of England is this?
Dale's making enemies all over the place. You know, I have friends that listen to this podcast from the British Holdfast Regiment, right? So
And they're going to agree
Hey.
that the sun shows up in Britain
I'm
maybe once a month.
I'm British.
I'm the
My
biggest.
grandma came over on a dang boat from England, so I'm like a quarter
Grandma?
British, right? Yeah, yeah. My grandma grew up in England, so
why didn't she just
Never
take a
that.
plane?
if I say it's okay, they at least got to think it's 1/4 okay.
Yeah, that's how
Because
that works.
Amelia Earnhardt had just been downed and she was nervous about planes.
Yeah.
Number 6, Johnny Cakes.
Johnny cakes.
Johnny
Isn't that
cakes.
like what they
Oh,
put in
I've
the
heard of this
urinals?
before,
That's in The Sopranos.
but I
Is-
can't remember
is it?
anything about it.
Oh, it's Italian.
Yeah, but the dude was making it was a gay ginger guy. And
Oh, it's where does gingers come from? Scotland.
yeah.
Are we going to go with
Johnny-
Scotland again? Because, I mean, Johnny cakes? Come on. That's
Is
clearly not like, Cantonese cuisine.
It sounds like a
It's gotta be
urinal
somewhere England.
thing. A
based.
urinal cake. They called right? Is that
Maybe
not a
they're-
thing you
Unless
piss
they're
on?
French.
Johnny Cakes is China's General So's.
Is there piss in this cuisine?
They're our America-themed restaurant. They've got Johnny cakes.
I love it.
I don't know. It's
Maybe those are like the egg rolls for the American-themed restaurants in China.
You know
like,
what? No, wait a minute. Australia.
you know what? For
Down Under.
variety, let's go with Down Under. I'm with
That
Australia.
sounds right. Yeah.
All right, Johnny Cakes is a meal that is simply stone ground white corn meal. Johnny Cakes are made from hot boiling water, sometimes milk, and a little bit of sugar and salt. They are then put on a greased griddle and cooked for about 6 minutes per side. This traditional food used to be called a journey cake because the settlers of America took them on their journeys. It all
I thought it would
started
be so
in
stupid.
New England.
I thought it
We're
would
in
be
New
so
England,
stupid.
Not old England?
Wait,
not old England. So we are in. So Rhode Island claims to be the origin of this. So if you had guessed America, I would have given you an extra bonus point if you had gotten down to New England.
Oh, you want us to be that
I was so
specific?
close to guessing America too.
Yeah.
But you
As
didn't.
old gentleman Johnny, but I didn't.
All right, moving on to the next one. Number 7, Saji kebab.
Saji kebab?
Yep.
Saji kebab.
This sounds so Indian, but I don't think there's going to be repeats, right?
I'll tell you that. There's
Turkish?
not going to be a repeat.
Yeah.
Is Turkey gonna be? Are they important enough?
I'm not
to
going to
know?
tell you if there's.
I'm asking the group. I'm trying to get a fact check on Turkey
Yeah,
Turkey?
that could be Turkish.
Turkey sounds good.
or
But
Arabian.
kebabs, man, they gotta. I'm thinking more Middle Eastern than Turkey.
Oh yeah, this could be like Israel or something.
Or
He's
North
trying
African.
to
I mean, Lebanon. Could
Yeah.
Lebanon have those kebabs?
Mm.
The lamb meat thing, possibly.
What's the say the name again?
Dale, you said it better.
What? I don't remember it though.
Oh shit. Okay. Sajik kebab.
Saji
Saji
kebab.
It's
Saji
spelled
kebab.
Saji.
Saji kebab.
Saji kind of rhymes with Haji from like
Mhm.
Johnny Quest. He wore a turban. Where was he from? India? We already did India.
I like how you're reasoning with that.
The most offensive way possible. Not the most, but you know. But I got nothing else to go on.
Egyptian? We think in Egypt?
Dubai.
Egyptian.
Ooh,
Egyptian.
Egypt. Egypt is North
Egypt.
Africa
African.
and cover our entire
Got that
base.
Middle Eastern.
I went to the place Cairo to go once, and they put like fucking gyro on a hot dog bun. It sucked.
That
Yeah.
sounds bad.
It's a hot point of contention. If you mispronounce that word, gyro, euro.
Hero.
I say gyro. That's probably wrong, but I like to say it that way.
Yeah, people get real mad if you say it the wrong
Let
way.
me just say it the way it sounds the coolest.
I also say
Gyro.
GIF.
Well, it's because it is GIF.
That's because you're a sociopath.
Yes, as the guy who made it said it was a GIF, and he's
He
dead
did.
now.
He did say that, but he's dead now, so he's wrong.
No, it's
Also, there's a strong case to be made that once a word has turned into like a different way of saying it, it becomes that way of saying it, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's said GIF though by most people I've ever heard say it.
Oh well, they're all wrong. So anyway, where are we going for this?
Where are we
Sajid
going?
kebab.
Oh no! I'm
Egypt.
crazy. I do say GIF. Where am I talking about? I was thinking the peanut butter.
Ah, there we
I was
go.
thinking the
Yeah.
peanut butter.
I'm
Yeah,
crazy. No, I'm
Because
crazy.
you were thinking about food. That's
Sorry,
why.
Paul. I don't mean to like suddenly betray you. I don't.
I say GIF. Paul.
I
I
just
say
say
GIF.
GIF.
It
I say
sounds
GIF.
better. It sounds so much better. GIF sounds weird. It sounds like you're git.
Yeah.
fine.
Anyway,
does
Egypt,
sound weird.
Lebanon, India. Where are we going with this?
Anywhere in the Middle East, I'll back.
Yeah.
Anybody who has a
Saji.
strong idea.
Saji. Saji.
Saji.
Anything
Egypt
linguistically? that's
sounds fine.
Saji. Let's go.
I'm going.
Let's go with Egypt. Egypt.
All right. Sajid kebab, another well-loved Afghanistan cuisine. Sajid kebab is usually
Afghani.
served as a whole lamb or in skewers marinated in salt. Some versions of the kebab use chicken instead of lamb and is usually roasted between medium to well done. To add flavor to the dish, many like to add green papaya paste or rice to accompany the dish. On top of that, Sajid kebab is also often eaten with I don't know how to say that word, a special type of bread or naan, baked
Mm.
in an oven.
I
So
like naan.
Tell the other word that you
counts.
can't say.
We basically said Middle East.
We had the area down
Yeah.
pat.
I'm giving you another half because
Alright.
Middle
I don't
East
know.
is there's a lot of places there. All right, here's the next one. Mofongo.
Well, fungo. Now,
Mofongo.
that sounds African.
Mofongo. Yeah. Yeah.
Quick guess, Africa.
Mofongo.
Or
Wow.
possibly Italian.
Speed running that
Yeah.
to
Mofongo.
I
No.
feel like Italian's got to be an answer. How many do we have left?
is how all Italians sound.
Yes, like
Mofongo.
Mario. Hey, if Mario can say it,
Mofongoncini.
No, Chris Pratt can say it. All right, get it right.
no, Chris
Man.
Pratt doesn't sound like that.
Mofongo,
Yeah,
huh?
you're right.
Mofongo of the
Charles
Congo.
Martinet.
Charles Xavier.
One of those people is real.
So is Mofongo Congo? Is Mofongo Uganda?
I say
Is Mofongo Italiano?
Where,
Let's say Africa.
wherever the
It sounds
Lion King
African to me.
took place, where's Pride Rock?
Where's Pride Rock? Hey Google, where is Pride Rock?
It just comes up with Mofongo, like the first thing is.
No, I want to say either Uganda or.
Uganda, say it.
Yeah, I'm down with Uganda or Zimbabwe.
All right, no, real specifically, let's do Uganda.
Uganda.
Uganda. I'm going to Uganda.
Okay. Mofongo, a dish from Puerto Rico with plantains as its main ingredient.
What?
Plantains are picked green, cut into pieces, and typically fried, but can be boiled or roasted, then mashed with salt, garlic, broth, and olive oil in a wooden pylon, mortar and pestle. That's what it actually is. So,
That has to
Mofongo, Puerto
literally
Rico.
be halfway across the entire planet from where we guessed.
Yeah, I couldn't give you a half on that one. All right. Number 9, Cullen skink.
Christ.
Cullen skink?
King.
It sounds like Swedish, Finnish.
Skink is a lizard.
2 words. Cullen, Cullen. Second word, skink, Skink.
Edward
good.
We have
Cullen.
skinks here.
Australia. Oh, Florida. Go Florida. Let's go with Australia.
I'm gonna say Louisiana. Them people eat lizards.
Yeah.
Them people eat anything.
We've already done America.
America.
I did say there were not going to be any repeats.
Wait, in terms of the entire country is not going to be repeated, so it's not here in this country.
Oh,
Well,
so
anything north of where skinks can live is definitely out.
Does Australia fit the criteria?
Australia hasn't been done yet, and skinks do live in Australia, I think.
It just sounds like a place they'd hunt lizards and eat them.
yeah. I know they have ice cream there called Golden Gay Time, and it looks really fucking good.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go with Australia.
All right. You're down 1 player. It seems like Adam had to step away for a moment. So,
Australia.
is that what the 3 of you are going to agree on? Australia?
Yeah, Australia
I'm down
won't
for
fail you.
Australia.
I don't think Adam's gonna fight this one.
Okay. Cullen skink, originating in the northeastern part of Scotland in a small village named Cullen. This creamy smoked fish soup is another traditional Scottish dish. Cullen skink consists of smoked haddock, cream, potatoes, and onions, and is typically served with a side of toasted bread. While it originated as a local specialty of Cullen, you can find this popular soup on Scottish menus nationwide.
These are great questions.
You're giving us too many fish dishes. We look like mer people to you.
What was the answer to that?
It's creamy fish from
And
Scotland.
it doesn't even contain skink.
Yeah.
He-
We were
It was
guessing
a red
places that have-
herring, if you will.
he's like, skink.
Oh, where did they eat red herring, Mr. Google over here? Where's that from?
To the
huh?
fish bowl, to the wall. I skink on your fish. I skink on the floor.
Okay. Number 10, and the last one. I'm going to mispronounce it.
You gotta get one right, guys.
No.
Boric. Probably supposed to roll the R.
Oh,
Boric.
Mexico.
You spell it?
Immediately, Mexico.
You
Yeah,
rolling
spell this
R's?
for me. Borric.
Borek.
Boric.
Yeah, it sounds like something like
Boric.
'Cause we already
Boric.
had
Oh,
Russia. That sounds Russian, but we already did Russia.
Russia conquered a huge part of the world. They could be Boric from somewhere nearby. There's Ukraine. There's
Ukraine.
Belarus, Latvia, Estonia. All of these places can have Russian-ass names. Bulgaria, bro. Romania.
Bulgaria. That sounds good.
Hey, maybe Boric is from Hungry.
That'd be the ultimate
It
answer.
could be. Do they roll their R's there?
They do.
I
They
said
do.
it's probably supposed to roll. I don't know. I'm not
Boric.
sure.
Yeah.
How long would you roll this R based on where it's from? Is it more like a
I
Boric
don't know.
or a Boric? Do you just go on? Is
Well,
it
Somewhere.
mostly R?
Can you not Google the pronunciation?
Yeah, I could, but that wouldn't be as fun.
How much
Uh.
R is in Boric?
You guys don't Google it though, because it'll probably pop up where it's from.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not.
Okay,
Uh,
well, I don't know. I'm cool
obviously-
with Ukraine. Is a pretty decent answer, I think.
Yeah,
it's
how dare you?
Kazakhstan, guys. Boric.
How dare
Oh,
Sean
Kazakhstan
give
was
us
owned by
Kazakhstan?
Russia.
a Russian answer, not a Ukraine one? Sounds pretty like this whole podcast is propaganda for the
Keep going.
Kremlin.
Yeah.
Kremlin propaganda, huh?
Mm.
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 Are you
Negative
sure
1
this
point.
isn't some Kievan money that I'm hearing
Yeah, it's gotta be
speaking?
Ukraine. If it's not Ukraine, you've heard it here. This whole thing.
Hey, negative 2 points.
Damn. Sorry, guys. I think we're under
This-
zero.
I'm making these. I'm doing all this calculations. Your tally sheet on your D&D stuff. So
Oh, good.
I'm
No,
I'm
don't
gonna-
lower my stats.
Right, damn. My strength is down by 2.
I
AJ,
can't
you never
guess all
turn
your.
back into a brown bear.
So you mentioned Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan was actually controlled by the Soviet Union. They shared a lot of cultural exchange with Russia. Boric
Yeah.
sounds like it could be from Kazakhstan.
What if Borat got his name from Boric because he just thought it was funny?
You want to go with Kazakhstan for that
He's
reason?
like, this food. I'll just name him after food and slightly fuck up the pronunciation and.
Become the public enemy #1 of Kazakhstan.
It's like how
Yeah.
Tolkien came up with his names for his places.
Can you give us a hint? And the hint being, was this place Soviet owned at one point?
I'll give you a hint. You're on the right track, and I'll just say it has something to do with maybe historically the Ottoman Empire.
Okay.
Agree.
Hungary it is. I think that's the
Or
Ottomans were the Turks.
I mean, I
Yeah.
am hungry after talking about all this food, even though 90%
Georgia.
of it was fish goop.
You just Googled it, ladies and gentlemen. We got it.
All right, what are we
Georgia.
going with?
Wait, why you
Either
saying?
Turkey or Georgia?
Well, why not Hungary?
Hungry.
Well, because I don't know if the Ottomans got as far north as Hungary.
Pretty
sure
Adam,
that
you are
was
the
the Ottomans.
tiebreaker. What are
Weren't
you
they
going
like
with?
Were they not? Was the Ottoman Empire not like?
What are the
Austria,
choices?
It
Hungary?
seems like you have two individuals that are saying Hungary, and then you have Dale that says Georgia.
But that's America, and we already did America.
Country Georgia.
What the fuck's the country, Georgia? You're making shit up.
It's attached to Turkey.
Out in the country in Georgia, that's not part of America.
Where are you going with Adam? We got to wrap it up.
Hey, Sean, can you tell us if has it been? Have we
Hungary.
set
No,
the
I'm
names?
not going to tell you
Hungary.
anything else. Adam has to make his decision.
Let's just go with
Georgia
Hungary.
sounds too difficult.
Eh.
Like, would you have been
Hungary.
that cruel?
I'm
All
gonna
right,
go with
here we
Hungary.
go. So Hungary it is. That's your answer, at least.
Oh damn! You fucking psyched me out.
What are you?
Oh no!
Oh, what is it?
All right, Boric is basically a baked filled pastry made of a thin, flaky dough known as phyllo of Anatolian origins. While the famous dish is also popular in other regions like Balkans, it has its origins from the Ottoman Empire. In most regions of Turkey, you can enjoy Boric with a variety of fillings, including potato, meat, cheese, spinach, and much more. For house-made Boric, head to a traditional restaurant or a coffee shop with a dimitas or whatever, or Turkish coffee. Turkey. That's what we're going with. Turkey.
Dang
You
it.
gave us the answer and we still got it wrong.
Yeah. Well, it's because of how I worded it historically. I didn't want to like say it.
The first thing that comes to mind when you say that is turkey, but then everybody else is like, you said Hungary and Georgia.
Well, Georgia is attached to Turkey and was definitely part of the Ottoman Empire.
I wish you would have said Kufta. Because I do work with a guy who's from Turkey. And he's always talking about Kufta.
So I think
It's kofta.
It's like a weird meatball kind of thing with bread. And I don't know exactly, but it looks good.
Be
I don't
down
know
to try.
how. I should have marked it like on the Word document that I was going off of where you guys got points, but you have 2 points. Well, I guess 3 because I gave you 2 halves as well. So you have 3 points total out of the possible 10. So good job. Good job all around. Good job. Those are hard. I mean, I Googled ones. I picked ones specifically that were a little bit more difficult. Traditional plates for each country. So I thought you did pretty good. I hope you enjoyed that game. I thought of it literally 5 minutes before we started. Ish.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a good game. Hey guys, here's my game. Where does spaghetti and meatballs come from? Can you guess?
China.
China, yeah. Final answer.
My final answer is Italy because it's Italian.
My final
it.
answer is
You
Boston.
win.
Good job,
Yeah.
Christian.
Ooh, that's a good one. Maybe Dale is right.
All right. Well, that just about wraps up this episode. Do you guys have any closing thoughts, any call outs or honorable mentions that we have to talk about just ever so slightly before we close it up? What's up?
What are our thoughts on the death penalty?
Oh my God!
Well,
about
I think
food.
that I'm
We're
gonna
talking
be
about
ordering-
food.
Just kidding.
I think I'll be ordering
Um,
Boric for my final meal, is what I think.
That sounds delicious.
I think
It's
you
a-
want some Cullen skink. That's
I think
what
it doesn't sound fun.
Cullen skink
I'll
don't
leave it
sound
at
bad
that.
either.
What do
You
you say,
know.
Paul?
I say it doesn't sound fun, and I don't want to eat fish goop.
John, you should set up a Jeopardy type thing for
Oh.
us to do one podcast.
We have to do that one like record video if we did that. I could. I actually have because of my job. I actually have a PowerPoint like set up where I can click on Jeopardy tiles and stuff, and it has all the slide animations and everything. I use it for check on learnings for the students.
I'm down.
You gotta do
I love
easy
Jeopardy.
questions 'cause we're all
It's time for the daily double.
I don't think you guys want to do basic electronics, like Ohm's law
do.
questions.
Yeah.
You do? Oh, we could. I mean,
We
I'll
will
throw
get
them on there.
everything wrong.
That's not a bad idea though, Christian. Maybe we could do that. We'll do our first video one. Okay. Anything else before I wrap this up? From anybody?
Donuts are good.
Donuts are
Good.
great.
Good.
Go get you something to eat.
Do you think they give the stinky tofu to the really bad prisoners? Like that's their final meal?
It's a speciality, Dale. How dare you?
I'd try it.
Yeah,
It's a
I forget what
speciality
the-
in China.
I think
Yeah.
Dale's been the most offensive person on this podcast tonight, for sure.
What's been? How have I offended
Paul said
anybody?
Haji.
What are you talking about?
I
He,
said Haji.
he immediately
Haji's a
went.
character in a cartoon.
Yeah, America said Haji.
All right,
Dr.
thanks so
Christ
much for
said
listening to Terrible Tirades. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure you follow us on Instagram to stay up to date when new episodes get published, when I actually publish them, because I'm a horrible editor. And also so you can stay in contact and connect with the multitude of hosts that join us on this show, because we have an ever door for who decides to show up 20 minutes late, Dale. But if there's nothing else, I thank you guys for joining us tonight, and goodbye for now.
I was late too. You should yell at me as well.
It's just the fact that Dale, specifically, I talked to beforehand, and he's like, yeah, it's at 10, right? Yeah, it's at 10. At 10, I get a message from Dale, or right around 52. Hey, man, jumping in the shower. Gonna be on around 10:20.
Man, I didn't walk in the door from the gym till 9 p.m. and I still had to cook dinner.
It's
I'm
just the
sitting
fact
there like-
that you checked the time with me.
Is this still recorded? Are we shaming people now on the podcast?
I haven't stopped
Hey,
recording. All right, done recording.
Hey,